Hello, my name is Nick Anderson. I am a clinical specialist with React Health. I'm working with Seattle Children's Home Care today. We're going to be going over the VC, standing for ventilation and cough ventilator. So we'll really be focusing more on the cough portion. If you need to reference the ventilation, you can go back to my previous video on the V-Home. Just to mention that the VC, the ventilation, is exactly the same. So again, we'll be focusing more on the cough on this portion. So looking down, we have our cough assist setup here on our F&P heater. So we can see this is our 18-inch humidifier bypass that you can see here. Now the purpose of that is when we do cough assist, this valve over here will close so that you don't suck water back up into the ventilator. Okay, so that's the most important part about this whole setup, is this humidifier bypass. All right, so if you're hooked up to humidity, you have to have this proprietary part on your circuitry to be able to do cough assist, okay? Same hookups you'll see for the F&P heater probes here, so all of that is the same. All we're adding is this humidifier bypass section, all right? So, with that being said, I'm gonna turn the vent on, and then we can go through the cough assist setup and demonstrate what that looks like. So similar to your iPhone, this VC model, you'll see a V and a C, so it's like adding a new app to your phone, all right? One of the big differences you just heard there is the cough assist valve seating itself. So you will hear that noise when you turn the device on, okay? So same setups where we're looking at our clearing our alarms there. Now when we go to the home screen, everything will look exactly the same as your V-Home. However, when we go to therapy, you're now going to see a V and a C. So obviously ventilation, and the C is for cough, okay? When I look at cough, you're gonna see 3 presets. Now that can be determined by your provider on how many presets you're going to use. Some providers like to use just 1 preset, others like to use all 3. Just like ventilation, you can go ahead and preset your labels even. So preset 1 can say low, for example. Preset 2 can say medium, and preset 3 can say high. So we can label those however you want, right? Going on our settings side, so this is going to be for the provider to set, RT or whoever will be demonstrating, writing your orders. So insufflation is your positive pressure, exsufflation is your negative pressure, and then there's going to be a couple of things in there that, again, your caregiver will provide. All right, so just looking at this, cough cycles, what that really represents is how many times the cough is going to go. So on average, you'll see probably 3 to 5. Now this can go to 10 if you wanted it to, but again, for most people, between 3 and 5 cycles is the norm. And breath sync, we're gonna leave that on. What that does is allows the ventilator to trigger just like a AC volume breath. The patient breathes, and that will trigger the cough assist, right? So this is an invasive and non-invasive. So just to demonstrate, we're gonna hit start. You're gonna see a wheel spin there, and that's waiting for the patient to trigger. And the screen's gonna pop up here. Now you can see I have 3 cycles set. 3 of 3 will be completed, and it will go right back into ventilation, okay? Now these numbers are really gonna be for your RT as well as the physician. So this just gives an objective view of what we need to do to change, increase, or decrease our pressures. So this gives us some information back to make sure that our settings are set appropriately, okay? So non-invasively versus invasively, obviously you're going to be changing your interface. So obviously if I have this set up, and this is gonna be hooked to the patient via the trach, then I really don't have to do anything. And that is the beauty of the ventilation and cough, is that I have my trach hooked up to the vent and humidity. I don't have to do anything as far as disconnection. I just hit start, we do cough assist, and I'm using my suction like I normally would as its own device to the side via yank hour or inline suction, okay? Non-invasively, obviously we're gonna be taking this piece off and putting on something like an ambu bag mask so that we have a seal, all right? And then we're gonna be going into cough that way. And again, that would be something like having your yank hour on standby so that when the patient coughs, we can go ahead and suction that out, all right? Now, another trick that we've seen used that works quite well on the non-invasive side so that you don't gunk up your circuit here is to put a 15 mil adapter, 6 inches of corrugated tubing, a filter, and then your mask, or vice versa, right? So you have your filter down here, 15 mil adapter, and your mask on this side. And what that's gonna do is when the patient coughs non-invasively, it goes into that trap, okay? So that's one way you can set up that so you don't dirty up your circuits. Another feature you can see, if you forget where cough is, so let's say I'm on my monitor screen and I want to do cough, remember the blue arrow in the right corner. Okay, that's your quick menu, and again, I can get to cough through there. All right, so again, if I'm stuck on a screen and I want to do cough, I forgot how to get there, blue arrow, cough, select your preset, hit start, okay? So other than that, pretty straightforward on the VC model. Again, if you need more information on the ventilation side of things, go ahead and see my previous video to go over the setup for ventilation. This concludes our video for cough, and let React Health or Seattle Children's Home Care know if you need any more information. Thank you very much.